And the game is if then. We'll give you a Mad Lib. You guys fill it out. The first one comes from Philadelphia, where the Ben Simmons drama is ongoing. After yesterday's meltdown, the 76ers still have no plans to trade him. Our question, if the 76ers aren't going to trade Ben Simmons at this time, then blank.
I'm going straight to Jacoby on this one because I haven't heard your opinion on this one.
If the 76ers aren't going to trade Ben Simmons at this time, then good for us. I love the chaos. I love the drama.
Really?
I love does he have a cell phone in his pocket at practice? Is he getting, Doc asked him to do a drill and he wouldn't do it? Is he going to play? Does he have to go to the games? Like, is he going to go in street clothes to a game in Philadelphia? Like, I just can't imagine the environment. Like, there's a wrestling match being held in Philadelphia, and they had anti-Ben Simmons chants. It has nothing to do with the 76ers. It was a wrestling match. Like, this is brewing into a crazy, dramatic, like, I just want to watch the world burn, and Ben Simmons has a tank of gas and a match, and he also wants to watch the world burn. But one thing I always say is, your actions should support your goals. And if he wants to get traded, this is not the actions. Show up. Be a professional. Go to practice. Play in the games.
Shoot a jumper.
Bring your trade value up so Daryl Morey can then trade you. This is hustling all the way backwards. And I have to say, as someone who works in sports media, I love it.
I'd agree with that. But I feel like if the 76ers aren't going to trade Ben Simmons, then they do not value themselves. Because, okay, this just reminds me of like a really bad relationship. If a guy, first of all, doesn't perform well in like, well, that didn't sound right, but like in the playoffs.
Hey, playoff pressure, you know? It can spread to different areas of your life.
And then proceeds to tell you that they don't want to be in a relationship with you. And you're just like holding on for dear life. And like the phone thing, like the thing in the pocket, like, is it a cell phone or whatever? Like if on a date and somebody's like, on their cell phone and not paying attention to like what is happening in front of them, like why keep this going on? Like you have to, they need to move on. And I feel like they don't value themselves if they have Ben Simmons, like, because the conversation is all about Ben Simmons. That's all we're talking about. We're not even talking about the 76ers outside of Ben Simmons and what's going on. So I feel like they don't value themselves. Like, let's just get rid of him and like move on.
Yeah, if the Sixers aren't going to trade Ben, then I feel like everybody on that team, on the roster, including Joel Embiid, just need to stare at Daryl Morey until he gets uncomfortable. Just stare at him and be like, when are you going to make this move? I'll be more than happy to take a Darius Garland or whoever the heck the Pacers offered you. I'll be more than happy to do that. Just get us out of this nonsense. Because like Joel Embiid's trying to recover from last year and win an MVP this year. He's trying to, make it to the finals and win a championship. Like, he had a disappointing finish, like the way that season started. If it wasn't for that injury of his, he probably would have won MVP, because the one difference between him and Nikola Jokic was, hey, the 10 or 15 games that he missed. Yep. So yeah, I think he's got to be looking at this like, I don't care, like he said, I'm over that dude. I just want to win a championship, and this is not helping. And so, like, I'm looking at him, he's got to be looking at Daryl Morey saying, hey, look, I can win with those guys from Indy. I can win with those guys over there. Let's just do something so I don't have this guy sulking in his sweatpants in the middle of our practice floor.
The Ramona Shelburne article was really interesting. I actually read the whole thing, which is rare for me. That's how good it was. And I will say this all comes back to Kawhi Leonard making that crazy bounce shot against them, because this duo does actually work together. They were the #1 team in the Eastern Conference at the end of the regular season. They were in a Game 7 against the Hawks. Even if they win that Game 7 and lose in the Eastern Conference Finals to the Bucks, there's still this feeling like, yes, we're like one game away. We're only 1 or 2 pieces away. But now we are so far removed from those past successes that he literally won't practice with the team. And if you're Daryl Morey, you're like, well, I want to get 90 cents on the dollar. Daryl, you're going to get a quarter on this dollar. Like, you are going to get a dime on this dollar. Just get it done. Even when James Harden did this last year, he still played. I mean, he was partying with little baby, not going to practice, right, but he played in the games. Ben is not doing this right.
I was just about to say that photo, like, there's no recovery from that photo. You don't take shots in the fourth quarters of 4, 5, 6, and 7, and you have that photo. Trae Young, little Trae Young, looking like he's going to try to jump up and block your shot, and you're giving it up. Like, there's no recovering from that.
They should just
Matisse
move on.
Thybulle got fouled, and they got 1 point instead of 2 points. That wasn't the reason they lost the game, but it's a tough photo. It's a tough one. As a mentally weak basketball player, I can relate.
He's done.
What,
He's
you
done.
pass up layups, Jacoby?
All the time. Yeah, I'm terrified.
Left-handed ones particularly, right?
Yeah.
If you got to go with your
Don't
left,
even know
now
what that
you might
is.
as well just kick
Can't
it to
do
the
it.
corner.
Can't do it. I've never shot a left-handed shot in my life.
You know what else is sad about this? Because if they would have made this trade in the offseason, because you still look at the projections for the Sixers, and they're just like, oh, maybe 6, 7 in the East. If they would have traded Ben Simmons in the offseason and had a piece or two that they could say, hey, that's a good fit with Joel, that's a good team around Joel, that's possibly the MVP right there, you'd be saying they're 3 or 4. Absolutely. Right?
Yeah.
You're probably getting a little too excited about the Miami Heat. I would say you'd probably bump them up above the Miami Heat in a lot of people's expectations. So this is really killing sort of the vibe of this team. And so maybe they come in with lower expectations and surpass that, and maybe that gives them, something to feel good about. But yeah, I think this team is better than what the projections are. But this is what's dragging them down in people's opinion.
This is it. Daryl Morey. Hi, Daryl. CJ McCollum, Robert Covington, and like a future protected first. That's what it's going to come down to.
A couple swaps.
And that's what's going to come down to, and that's what it's going to be, and that's what it should be. Both teams say yes.
And by the way, CJ McCollum, he'd be better not playing next to Damian Lillard,
yes.
Because obviously Damian,
Right.
That's not the type of backcourt that generally works,
Two duos.
I love that addition.
Two duos that are redundant. They're 4 great players, but they're 2 duos that are just mismatched. I think CJ McCollum will end up going to Philly, and it's going to end up making both teams better.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.